I think most guys struggle with even getting enough food in to grow in the first place.
100% disagree. Sam, I'm sorry, but you're wrong. Coach Greg, in today's video, Sam Sulek is locked in. It's the summertime. Many people are planning trips. And so Sam Sulek, what is he doing? Well, he plans a trip to the grocery store. Bro's actually reading comments. And the reason for that is people have wanted him to make a grocery haul for several months now. They love to learn about what foods to eat, what not to eat, to bulk cut, and so on. And so if you're curious about eating, what to grab at the grocery store, this is the video for you.
Haven't had to really stock up on anything, at least as much as I have been. Kind of just because I wanted this bulk to be a little smoother. Right, a little more gradual.
And so since his original bulk, Sam has learned that you don't need to go crazy. He was eating 2,000 calories on his diet, and so he doesn't need to jump to 4,000 to 5,000 calories. He was bulking on 3,000, perhaps 3,500 calories. In comparison, in the past, he was eating far too many calories and just starting to get a little chunky.
There's a sweet spot of a calorie surplus. This is maintenance. This is a little higher, where you eat enough, you're growing, you're recovering, but you're not getting too soft.
When you go on a bulk, you consume enough calories to grow, but not so many calories that you start to get soft, chunky, fat. That is not what you want.
So the bigger that this surplus becomes, you'll reach a point where it's unnecessarily big. And instead of actually just, putting on more size, you start just putting on more fat.
And so my recommendation, if you're a bodybuilder, is to not bulk past 15% body fat. The reason for that is when you cut down, you're probably going to get close to 5% body fat. And so that is 10%. That is a lot. Now, if you're not a competitive bodybuilder, you're not concerned about being overly lean, I think it's fair to bulk to 20% body fat. But remember, this is still very lean. You all watch Jeremy Ethier's brother. He was clocked in on the DEXA scam. I know it's a scam, but it was 32.5%. And so look at this guy. Does anyone think that he's fat? I know that he's not fat. I believe he's closer to 23% body fat, but it's too much body fat. And so let this be a lesson to you. This guy, 33% body fat on the DEXA scan, 23% on my laser eyes, but both are over 20%. And so if you're anything close to that, you don't need to bulk because you've already bulked. You are a bulk.
But usually that's not even a problem. I think most guys struggle with even getting enough food in to grow in the first place.
100% disagree. Sam, I'm sorry, but you're wrong. Most people are fat. Most people are above 20% body fat. And so if you're over 20% body fat, by definition, you're eating too much. You're actually fat. Anybody who's overweight got to being overweight by eating too many calories or not burning enough of them off. And so unless you're underweight, exceedingly skinny, single-digit body fat, you're eating enough. Now, there are some examples of guys who don't eat enough. Tristan Lee, single-digit body fat, notorious for not eating enough food. And if he ate more food, I'm sure he would have more muscle. But most are eating enough. I would estimate 95% of people are eating enough calories. If you think the reason that you're not putting on any muscles that you don't eat enough, I want you to look in the mirror. If you see a reflection in the mirror with a chiseled six-pack and some veins, or if the weight scale is not going up, it's constantly the same, even though you're going to the gym, you might not be eating enough. The weight scale should go up perhaps a little bit each and every month. I mean, if you gain 1 pound a month, that's 12 pounds in a year. That's very, very good. And so if it's been 3 months and you haven't gained any weight, you probably need to consume more calories. But for everyone else, you're probably eating enough.
I'd say 90% of the time, keep eating. And then for the 10% of the guys who are doing a little too much, then you got to chill out.
There's no way that only 10% of people are overeating. The majority of people are overeating. Over 50% of America is obese. By definition, over 50% of people are overeating. And do you think that those 50% are overeating broccoli, rice, chicken, steak, tilapia? Or do you think that those people are mostly overeating chips, candy, cakes, muffins, and crumble? Take your pick, but I'm betting you're eating a lot of junk, if in fact you're overweight.
I think these microwavable rice packets are sweet just because they're, quick, instant, 30, or I guess, a few minutes in the microwave. and I just like them.
That's something I also eat when I'm at Mepsigram's house because she doesn't have a chef like Coach Greg. And so I actually have to cook my own food. And so I'll oftentimes eat the rice. I'll eat that with chicken, peas, and so on. Very good idea. Now, I prefer to cook basmati rice. I add some bouillon to make it taste a little bit better. Or perhaps if you want to get a little bit fancy, you could get my cookbook 3.1 and eat eggy rice. Half the calories of just plain rice with way more protein, and it tastes better. And so if you're interested in amazing and delicious recipes, you know where to go. Code Greg, 15% off.
The instant rices work pretty freaking well. I can tell the rice is definitely floating around in the water, but it's not so watery that it won't all kind of absorb.
And so with minute rice, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So 1 cup of water, 1 cup of rice. But with the basmati, it's 2-to-1 ratio. The water is going to take longer absorbing the rice, but the basmati, to me, it does taste a little bit better. Now, he's saying I add in 150 or 200 grams of dry rice, add in the water. I never do that. And so when I'm cooking rice, I'm cooking enough to fill up the entire pot. Why do people sit there and cook? I mean, if you're eating 3 to 5 meals a day, are you literally going to sit there and prepare 3 to 5 meals every single day? I mean, you'd be living in the kitchen. And so when I used to cook before I had a chef, I would cook for the entire week. I'm talking about cooking 12 cups of rice at a time, a dozen chicken breasts, whatever fits inside of the frying pan.
For anyone a little more dieting centric, I'm a big fan of this.
That exact item right there, the carb balance, when I was in Vegas, I ate a dozen of those every single day. You think I'm a baller, but hey, I just wish I was a little bit taller. I'm sitting in my hotel room and I don't want to go to all these restaurants. It's not like I can't afford it, but I'm like, do I want to sit there for 1 or 2 hours to eat every single meal? And I'm trying not to get fat. And so I see these carb balance mission things. And I'm thinking, well, I'll just eat a dozen of those a day. Now, there's a lot of fiber in there. When you eat an excessive, inordinate amount of fiber, sometimes it doesn't agree with your body. And so I may have a little bit of stomach pain from eating way too much fiber. And so, hey, just be careful. Don't go crazy. Don't have 12 a day. I mean, perhaps having 6 a day, that seems like a reasonable amount. But please remember that oftentimes the fiber and calories listed on the label, it's incorrect. Remember, labels are allowed to lie by up to 20%. Oftentimes they're going to say, hey, there's no calories in here, but yet they're lying. And so when I see fiber, I count it as 2 calories per gram. Some people, they count it as 0, but remember, it depends on the source of fiber. To make it simple, whenever you see fiber, count it as 2 calories, and more often than not, you're going to get it correct.
If you're trying to peel down, anytime you see like a calorie smart version of something, that might be your ticket, right? Swap a Coke with a Coke Zero.
I mean, anyone that consumes regular Coke, pop, you deserve to be fat. I mean, and I'm not pulling any punches. You deserve it. As in, you earned it. You want it. You love being fat. And that is included in pre-workouts, all this stuff. If you drink regular Gatorade or regular juice, you want to be fat, because how could you consume all that sugar and think anything different is going to happen? If you drink 10 beers and you drive, you deserve to get a drinking and driving ticket. It's just, you deserve it. If you consume beverage after beverage full of sugar, you're asking for body fat, which is equal to being in trouble.
Another quick stop. For a while, there was like a freaking egg crisis going on.
I don't remember an egg crisis. I mean, how could that even happen? They were on strike, the picket fence, no more eggs, we demand more grain.
And I think it's just going on all the time. Like, $5 a dozen. Totally nuts.
I love how Sam Sulek complains about the prices of food. I mean, it's just epic to me. I mean, he's probably making millions of dollars, but it's almost as if he's a normal human being. Like, he's dressed the same. He's got the cool hat, the Corolla or Camry, whatever he's driving. He's not living the lavish lifestyle. Aside from having bought his own personal home gym, which is truly amazing, he doesn't need to spend the money. He doesn't care. He's very frugal with his money. He doesn't want to waste money, $5 per dozen eggs. I mean, I'm frankly surprised he doesn't have a butler or someone special to go out and get his groceries. I mean, the ROI, rather than spending 2 hours going to the store, driving there, picking up groceries and so on, he could be recording videos, he could be working, he could be doing something. And so I'm surprised.
I would be very concerned what your take is on pasteurized versus non-pasteurized egg whites digestibility.
Sam, whether you get your eggs from cracking them in the pan on the spot or if it's pre-packaged, it doesn't matter. The Rock knows it doesn't matter. I know it doesn't matter. And now you know it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter!
Eat the eggs the way you want to. Trust me, I rarely eat an actual egg. It's so much easier to get it from the carton.
Because I've got no problem drinking 50 grams of protein worth of egg whites. But I got turned off from it because it's like the bioavailability of protein in an uncooked egg white is like 50%.
And so, Sam, pasteurized or unpasteurized, if you eat liquid egg whites, as in they're not cooked, you're only going to absorb about 50%. But by cooking them, pasteurized or unpasteurized, you're going to be able to absorb about 95 to 97%. And so here's my advice. Makes no difference which you choose to eat, crack the egg or get it from the carton, but you need to cook it. If you don't cook it, you're only going to get about 50%. And so simply drinking the eggs like Derek from More Plates, More Dates used to do and not cooking them, well, that is an inferior method. Now, everyone is so smart, but he's not smart enough to sell actual Ajuga turkistanica from Uzbekistan. Well, perhaps he's so smart that he continue to scam people by selling you cyanosis, which is literally from China. You can believe me, you can think I'm lying. Do I look like I'm lying? I have the receipts. I proved it. I've tested this more than once, and I have chain of custody showing exactly what it is. And so you can get Coach Greg's HDLT supplements, Turk Builder Max or Turk Platinum, or you can get Turk Plex, which, hey, it doesn't claim to have turkesterone anymore. I mean, when you right-click the URL, it says turkesterone, and there's the turkesterone molecule on the bottle, but hey, we don't promise to have turkesterone. What you need to know is Ajuga turkistanica is what works, and Ajuga turkistanica, this is a plant, it contains turkesterone. That's just one of the ecdysteroids inside of it. But if you want to level up, Turk Platinum. We've gone above and beyond with other ecdysteroids, other plants, rare ones, Raponticum, Sarpuca, back in Russia. This has tons of research back dating to the 1960s, the race to the space age. And so this is incredible. This is what I'm using. It's even better than Turk Builder Max. And so if you're looking for the creme de la creme, the best of the best, the cream of the crop, Turk Builder Platinum. Code Greg, 15% off. Click the link in the description.
My thing in high school was I'd always have 2 shaker cups with me to drink between breakfast and lunch, because that's like a 6-hour gap of no meals.
My opinion is you just get a Seco bar or you purchase something, a friggin' piece of fruit, some Greek yogurt, and you carry it with you. This is not rocket science. Have food available, because if you're hungry and you don't have anything with you, you might grab something you wish you hadn't. For example, it could be just a donut or a chocolate bar, something that is not as healthy as you were hoping.
Where I haven't really been getting the deli turkey as much, that's where if you've got a Costco membership, or I don't, but my parents still do, so sometimes I'll kind of, mooch off of them.
I mean, isn't it amazing that Sam Sulek has to mooch off his parents for a Costco membership? It costs, I think, $50, maybe like $100 for the executive, and you get points and return and so on. And the way Sam eats, he's probably going to make it back very quickly. And he has enough money. I don't think he needs to worry about having a deal.
The same with counting your calories. The more you do it, it just becomes a certain kind of second nature. You know what I'm saying?
It's kind of like when I test people's body fats with my laser eyes. You just get a feel for it, having tested people with skinful calipers for tens of years in my past, or being able to track calories. Having done this since I was a teenager, I can look at food and I have a general idea of exactly what's inside. Oftentimes, even more accurate than the label. Remember, labels lie. My laser eyes, they're not going to lie to me.
I lean a little leaner with the ground beef. I'd love to see 98%. That's usually a little more rare, but 96 works perfectly well too.
Yeah, try being in Canada. He's like, I want to find the 98% lean meat to buy because it's lower in calories, lower in fat, but I'll settle for 96%. In Canada, it's rare to get 96%. We call 90% extra lean in Canada. Very often it's 85%. That's lean or regular 80%. Do you know how much fat is in lean ground beef at 85%? 15 grams of fat for a 100 gram serving. That's just over 3 ounces. It's a lot of fat. And so what do? Strain it. Just like your pasta, you put it in your strainer, you get the water, it takes out the oil, and it leaves less oil. And so you have less fat. Now, it's going to be a little bit more dry. It's not going to taste as good, but it's because you're reducing all of the fat. You're removing the calories.
The only thing that sucks is with the 96%, they don't make like a big, like 4-pound pack. They only come in 1 pound increments.
You know, and what really sucks is he doesn't get to buy 96% in bulk because, hey, this is much more expensive. And so Sam, he's on a budget. He has to be very careful. He's got to shop at Costco with his parents and so on. I don't believe it. Sam's making millions of dollars.
Like, I'm not the kind of guy to like make muscle burgers or like little individual patties or anything. This is just going to be 5 pounds all at once into a stove pot.
And, you know, that's how I recommend. If you're cooking on your own, you don't got time for making the fancy meatballs and patties and so on. Just cook it in bulk.
Stirred, cooked on low until it's all, totally cooked through. And then I can strain that.
You hear that? He strains it still to remove some of the fat.
I do always try to make sure I have at least the basic components of what my meals are going to be for the day totally prepped, or at least one step away.
Yeah, that's the same with me. I never did the whole, my Tupperwares are all lined up, I'm going to eat this much exactly. I never did that. I like to eat, and I don't know if you want to call it intuitively, but sometimes I'm hungrier and I want more food, but I want it all prepared. So I have my potatoes and my eggy rice and my steak and my tuna steaks and my chicken breasts and my asparagus. All these things are in the fridge. They're already prepped, but I'm just going to put as much as I want onto my plate. And so what I recommend to you is to cook in bulk. Have several days worth of food in the fridge. That big pot of rice, the chicken, don't just cook one chicken and one serving of rice and have that for lunch and have to repeat the same thing for supper. Cook a shit ton of food and put it in the fridge.
The longer something would take, the more it's going to be a chore. And then subconsciously, you're not even going to do it. And before you know it, you said you were bulking. It's been 3 months, you weigh the exact same.
If it's been 3 months and you said you're bulking and you weigh the same, you technically haven't made progress because you're bulking. Bulking is to get bigger. Your goal might have been to bulk, but you end up gaining. And what do I mean? If you start at 15% body fat, 200 pounds, and 3 months later you're at 14% body fat and 200 pounds, well, you added 1% of muscle, which is great. Now, your goal was to bulk, but what happened is you ended up gaining. It's still good, but if you want to bulk, you got to bulk. The weight scale, it has to go up.
No Krispy Kreme even on this one. I haven't really taken a look at it. I feel like my grocery carts used to be a little bit more full than this.
And so as you can see, he's not eating a bunch of junk food. I don't see the Krispy Kreme donuts. He isn't going to Crumble. He isn't going to Five Guys burgers and so on. He's eating very healthy.
That computer doesn't know you. It doesn't know how much you're fidgeting. It doesn't know how many steps you're getting per day. So that's an estimate to start off of.
And so I 100% agree with Sam. It's great to track your calories and all that, but it's really not necessary. I mean, I'm 190 pounds, so I need 190 grams of protein, 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Then you can look on some kind of an app or a tracker. And if I type my height and weight and activity level, it's going to say I probably need 3,200 calories. It's just about 1,300 too little because it doesn't know how hard I'm actually bike riding. It doesn't know how much I'm fidgeting or my metabolism and so on. And so it guesses. But you know what's not a guess? My weight. And so if you really want to keep your life simple and avoid having to track everything that you're eating, all you have to do is weigh yourself every morning naked first thing. For example, I was 201 pounds 2 nights ago. This morning, I weighed 190.8. Yesterday morning, I was 194.4. And so my weight, it varies. But what you do is you take the median number. You cross out the highs and the lows. Perhaps you don't remember to weigh yourself 7 days a week. That's fine. You weigh yourself 5 days. You cross off the 2 low numbers. And the 2 high numbers, you're left with the middle number. Let's say for me, that's 190. Now, if my goal is to bulk, that number has to go up. By whatever amount, that's up to you. My opinion is that 1 pound a month, that's plenty. If a month from now, I should be closer to 191. If it's 1, 2, and 3 weeks later, and my weight has not improved from 190, I need to eat more. If my weight has gone up too much, I need to eat less. And so if 3 weeks go by and I'm 195 pounds, you're eating too much. The bulk is too fast. If you're, of course, using performance-enhancing drugs and so on, the scale weight's going to go up by leaps and bounds. And so the amount of weight that you're gaining has to be reflective of your current goals and expectations. You can't just say, I want to put on 40 pounds in the next 5 months because Superman did. You have to be realistic. Nor can you say, hey, Hussein Farhat put on 45 pounds of muscle in a couple of years. I want to do the same. Most people can't do this. And so set realistic goals and expectations. If your goal is to lose weight, the scale weight has to go down. Every single week, does it have to go down? No. It generally has to trend down. And if you're trying to bulk up, it has to trend up. Main gain, it can remain the same and you can lose body fat and build muscle at the same time. But it's like the stock market. Some weeks it's going to go down lower, some it might even go up. But overall, it should be trending down if you're trying to lose weight and trending up if you're trying to gain. So in 3 weeks, if 3 weeks go by and you're still the same weight and you're trying to gain, you need to eat more calories. It's so simple. And you're thinking, well, how do I know it's more? More than you're eating. Whatever I'm eating, I don't need to track. I'm 190. Tomorrow, I'm going to make sure I eat more. Whatever that may be. And if the scale still doesn't go up, I'm going to eat more yet again. I'm going to keep repeating that until that number is not 190, it's 191. And the same applies if you're trying to lose weight. If you're trying to get down and you're 190, 190, 190, eat less, eat less, eat less. Do more cardio. If it keeps saying 190, it's not because your metabolism is broken. It's because calories in, calories out dictates that you are eating at maintenance. And so continue to eat less, continue to burn off more cardio. It is very easy. The problem is actually doing it, actually putting it in motion, weighing yourself, adding in the calories, reducing the calories, putting the fork down or doing the cardio. That is the hard part. You're going to perhaps be hungry and find it difficult to put the fork down. If that's the case, you take GLP Max. It's to help with your hunger cravings, reduce them by 28%. Makes a big difference. Got ultra famous YouTubers doing this, telling you it's amazing. It works. Don't forget, if your testosterone is low, we've got G-Test Platinum. Are you aware of this? G-Test Platinum can boost your testosterone up to 200 nanograms per deciliter.
You know, that's kind of why there's such a hate for the bathroom scale, at least on like a non-lifter kind of level. Because, you know, that means people have to look at the scale and say, oh, crap.
And that's the thing. Many people are thinking, you know, ignorance is bliss. I don't want to weigh myself. I don't want the scale to dictate my feelings. Why would you let the scale dictate your feelings? It's just telling you a number. And remember, with knowledge comes power. And so if you see the scale weight going up and you don't want it to, you can do something about it. But if you ignore it and you walk by the scale and say, no, not today, I'm not stepping on it, I don't want to know that number, I'll feel bad, then that's on you. You deserve to be fat. If you don't do anything that it takes to do the things to get into shape, to lose the weight, then you deserve it. If you never go to school, and you never study for your exams, you don't do any of your assignments, you deserve to fail the course. Now, it might sound harsh because it's 2025 and everyone cares about everyone's feelings so much, but if you don't do any of the things to better yourself and you expect to get the results, then you're just an idiot or a moron, or you've had horrible parents who have just allowed you to get away with everything that you want. You need to be told no. If you don't do the things to lose the weight, you deserve to be fat. And so if you don't go and exercise, you don't put the fork down, you don't give a shit, and you're fat, stop saying, oh, it's my metabolism, it's my parents, God hates me. No, you hate yourself. And don't forget, HLT Supplements, we're looking for more brand ambassadors as well as sponsored athletes. And so if you think you have what it takes to become an HLT athlete, please apply by clicking the link in the description. We're looking for more athletes right now. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algo. Like the video if you liked it, and these videos are going to pop up. Watch at least one of them. Of course, for coaching plans by me and my team, you can apply by clicking the link below. Also, cookbooks, training books, coaching plans by me and my team, the Circle Diet Book, and the Hard and Last Time clothing line. Get it all on the website. Don't forget to enter code GREG to save 15% off on everything. And until next time, I am out.